Today I talk about why state dictates your thoughts and your actions. Welcome to episode number 24 of the Luebbers journey. So I was having a conversation the other night about a particularly difficult time in my entrepreneurial journey. And essentially I was in a massive state of stress and of fear, and I explained how I was able to climb out of it. But I felt very strongly that I needed to make the clarification that before I was ever able to climb out of that state, I needed to make a massive mindset shift. In other words, I didn't, get into this deep hole, this dark place, and then just through hustle and grinding or, working in fear, just climb out of it. What actually happened was when I tried to work in fear, I just went down, down, down. Everything got worse. And eventually, I made a massive, massive breakthrough, completely unintentional, where I just felt acceptance. I just basically accepted parts of myself that I had previously were saying, you're wrong, you fucked up, you made massive mistakes. And I made this internal shift before I ever made the external shift, before I ever took actions to pull myself out of this hole. In this particular instance, it involved paying off a lot of debt that I didn't see a way out of at the time. Before I ever was able to actually do that, I first made this crucial internal state where my thought patterns and the way that I felt on a daily basis completely changed, almost a 180-degree turnaround from what I was thinking. And it wasn't even as if I was another clarification. It wasn't even as if I was going down, down, down. I was fearful, and then all of a sudden I went I made this breakthrough, and I was like, finally, I can go back up. What happened was actually I got to the bottom, and I realized I didn't care. I realized, it doesn't make me an inferior human being to be here. There's nothing actually wrong with me for being here. And all of a sudden, everything changed. And then the place that I was in mentally was sort of like, you're good, you're cool. Now what? And then I was like, yeah, I should probably pay off debt. But it wasn't, my perspective widened, my perspective massively shifted. And only when I stopped seeing the problem as, a real problem, as big of a problem, I literally stopped seeing it as a problem to my self-worth, rather just, some sort of external game to play. And once I made that massive personal breakthrough, the external results just happened. And the funny thing was I knew that they would happen. As soon as I made that breakthrough, I knew. So what is the overarching message of this? Well, the overarching message that I remind myself of constantly is that your internal state, meaning the thoughts going through your head and literally the neurotransmitters firing, the hormones running through your body, dictate your thoughts and your actions. One of the biggest things I've learned about sales is that as much as you can prepare and map out a script, if you're not in the right state of mind, if you're not feeling the right way, you're doomed. And if you are feeling the right way, you can mess up your script, you can completely improvise, you can not even use a script at all, and you can still turn out really, really well. Because when you're in certain states of mind, when you have certain hormones and neurotransmitters running through your body, there's a great book about this called The Charisma Myth that introduced me to it, and a lot of writings on it. But when you have the right hormones and neurotransmitters flowing through your body, you just act completely differently. And I constantly, the context in which I apply this in my personal life is if I'm, for example, really struggling, like if I'm afraid of something again, if I'm feeling a lot of fear, or if I'm feeling insecurity around a particular issue, or if for example, I'm feeling massive resistance to creating some piece of content or, making an important phone call or something like that, what I'll do rather than rather than try to push through it as if it was, another set on the bench press, just push through it, I'll actually try to completely change my state, and in doing so, change the significance of the action. For example, something I like to do is just zoom out and see the world from outer space in my head. Literally, just see the planet hanging, in the vast emptiness of space. Then zoom back in and realize, yeah, like, I was making this a lot worse than it actually was. Like, in the grand scheme of things, the importance of this and the level to which I was afraid of it were completely blown out of proportion. And another example is changing my physical state. I'll take cold showers or do jumping jacks or something crazy, handstands, stuff like that. But the overarching message that particularly stood out to me when I was thinking of topics for today, and certainly recently over the past few months, is the importance of state. And if you're not achieving results that you like in a certain area, if you are facing a particularly difficult problem, if you seem like your mind is just going around the same mental rut, the same thoughts you keep popping up, you keep procrastinating, rather than trying to push, often the best thing you can do is find a way to completely change your perspective, and in doing so, change your state and completely change the paradigm with which you approach whatever problem or issue it is that you're facing. Hope you found this interesting. Would love to hear if you have any experiences of completely changing your paradigm and changing your state and making key breakthroughs, and we'll talk tomorrow.